Friends, howdy doody. Let's talk about DJT. It will not quit. Man, I love watching a stock outperform what everybody says it's going to do. It's really fun here because it is severely making analysts furious right now. So let's talk about what is going on with Trump media here. Friends, thanks so much for being here once again. Hope everyone is having a great Monday. And it is the 22nd of April, and the market recovered a little bit today. Nothing crazy, but it did come back here, which we figured it would at the end of this week. Well, pretty much going into next week, but we'll have quarterly reports for a lot of big companies, so the market probably will move up even more going into May here. So hopefully. What we're watching right now with Trump media, I know people get mad at me because I've been all over the board with this, and I'm still in my little alleyway right now with what I think is going to happen here with Trump media, and it's just me. I'm not making a video making fun of people. Like whichever way you're leaning with this stock, I realize there's people in here that are betting against it. They're very bearish on it, with options here, and then there's people that are very bullish on it, and there's people here that just like trying to catch a ride here and there and make a few bucks when they can. So with that, and then there's people in here just like that love Trump, and they're just not going to say anything bad about it, and I get it. That's great. Whoever you are, whatever your play is in this. So saying that, I'm still kind of in this realm right now because I don't really trust the general market right now. I don't really trust where we're going in, the economy with everything going on. We're about to really get into some heavy election stuff here. And the election is in 5 months, and we're not even, they still have not even announced. It's like Biden and Trump. Which is crazy. It's like we're just totally ignoring it, even though we did just pass $95 billion deal for war, and then ban TikTok in there, of course, just shoved in there. Don't get me started. But talking about Trump media, this is the situation of what you're watching with this stock. Obviously, here's the key bullet points, and I think people will agree with this. If you don't, that's fine, but you have to somewhat agree on this because it's the God's honest truth. This is a new company. They're not raking in millions upon millions of dollars in profit. They are staying afloat. They are, building a company right now. Trump Media Service, the platform, the news platform, however you want to call it, whatever you want to say. So with that, you're still watching a very hyped stock, a rogue stock, if you will. Even last week when we saw the market do really bad, this is when Trump media here really started to push up and had a huge push up. This thing went down to $22 and shot up to almost right under $40 once again. So if people were buying in at that 22, you're talking about a huge gain, especially when the rest of the market was trash and everyone else was losing money. So I'd be honest, I didn't see, I figured it was going to come back a little bit, but I didn't think it was going to be anything of what we saw with that. That's a huge play. So you're just watching a stock that's not organic when it comes to other stocks. It's very manipulated how it's being played, and that's okay because people are making money with it. But I think too, and I am very curious, and this is kind of what I've been preaching here. I do think the stock will have a big reset. I still think that somewhat. I do. I know people get mad when I say that, but I still think the stock is going to somewhat take a little more damage here before it has a huge swing. But I do believe that probably here in August, September, October especially, the stock is going to run hard. Obviously, if Trump is the candidate running for the seat again, which, as far as we know, this is happening, whether the media wants to admit it or not, and they're putting him in court every day. So it's hard to find real logistic news on this stock, and just me talking about this, people get, there's people that enjoy it, there's people get furious that I'm talking about it. But just as someone who, if you're wanting to, how do I say this? If you're just trying to find general news about this company, whether you like it, don't like it, it is hard to find general real news surrounding the company, and that's been the case here for 2 years now, because the general media, they hate this company. That is not supported by the general news media, and when you can find any kind of article talking about it and logistics of it with what's going on, it's they're all biased, but some of them that aren't that biased are still pretty, they're pushing a narrative. So here's what I think we could continue to see here with the stock. The fact that it remained $35 today was very interesting. It kind of just meant everyone just held their ground, and everyone was like, are you gonna jump? Are we going to go backwards? Are we going to go forward? Are we going to buy more? What are we going to do? Everyone just, held the pedal steady today. And I found that to be very interesting, because we didn't know if we were going to have more sell-off today. Now, obviously, it's only Monday, and the general market rebounded. I mean, thank God. I mean, if it kept going down today, we were obviously in some pretty bad waters here with the market. Having the market rebound a little bit here today, the stock held still, and people, it traded hands today. Nothing crazy heavy, but I was actually pretty proud of it today that it did what it did. So, friends, I've said it once, I'll say it again. If you're going to be a part of this stock, it's going to be a situation, if you're long term, you're going to be biting your nails off, because it's going to be very volatile. It's going to be up and down, and it's just, one day you're going to be like, oh my God, I've put my life savings in something terrible, and then the next week it's going to be like, hey, I've made quite a bit of money here. I think this is going to be the general narrative, until we know further more with this, what's going to happen here in October. And then if Trump is elected, that'll be a whole new bag of beans with this stock. If he isn't elected, well, it still could be a whole bigger bag of beans. Who knows? It just depends where we're going here. And I've said this before, and I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but I don't know how many people that are listening to me yap right now went through the AMC, GameStop situation, but this is obviously not that. This is not that. So I want to make that clear. I know the difference and what it was, and I think everyone should know the difference. But this has similarities. This has similarities of that. If you were watching that, and that situation unfolded over a long period of time, I think people that didn't go through it, they think it happened in 2-3 days. No. This GameStop situation, AMC wasn't that long, but GameStop was a lot longer, where it had a lot of up and downs, and big ups and the downs, and everybody's like, okay, it's done. And then it went even higher. So that manipulation in there, that FOMO of people pushing that stock at that time, this is a little bit what we're seeing. Well, that's a lot of bit what we're seeing right now with Trump media. So this is going to be a volatile stock. It could go all the way back down to $15 tomorrow, and then by Friday the thing's back up at $35 or maybe $40. I just think that's the scenario that you have to realize with this stock. But, and that's what we saw with the GameStop situation, where it was highly manipulated over a long period of time. It wasn't just in a week's time. I mean, it went months just being pushed around. And, when investors have something like this, it's a special situation, because they're able to, people that, and I say investors, day traders, short traders, when they're able to, put $10,000 in this on a Tuesday, a Monday, and then, buy in low and sell high, and they have a 7-day period to do that, to make a lot of money. That's a big opportunity, and they know that opportunity is there right now with the stock, because it's so highly manipulated. The stock isn't moving based on finances with the company, anything like that. We're so far away from that conversation. It's not even worth talking about. That's why people sometimes comment on here. They're like, you're not even talking about the financials of the company. Do you really want me to go over them? I mean, they're not great. They're not great. I mean, Trump himself, it's obvious, him alone, he is trying to raise money for all this court stuff he's going through right now, in his campaign alone. And this is it's not even a situation where you should be upset. Trump media, whether you're for Trump or not, it's a new company. So like, it doesn't make sense to say good or bad. It's just a new company. You're not expecting it to make a lot of money. We're expecting it to struggle. We're expecting it to have to go through a lot of problems. It's a new company. And it's a new company that's on the stock exchange, for God's sakes. It happened really fast when you really think about it. So friends, key points here with, me saying all this. I think this is going to be a volatile stock. I know it's going to be a volatile stock. It's already showed its cards in that light. We've already seen that. I think what you're just going to have to realize is that the stock is going to have a lot of up and downs. And it's going to travel on Trump news too. Trump has bad day in the media. It probably will reflect that in the stock. He has a really good day. It will reflect that in the stock. It's just this way it's probably going to happen. But I still think there's a lot of meat left on the bone with this one. I do suspect that it will have a hard summer. I think there will be a time and a moment where the stock takes a lot of damage and then really kicks back in again. And I say that because I think there's a lot of big money in the stock sitting and waiting. It's going to possibly hit, like if it hits $40 or $50 again, I would expect there to be huge sell-off, because that would just be very, very ridiculous at this point for that to happen without any general real news and push with it. But there's a lot of different ways to play this right now. There's just a lot of different ways to play this. Like I said, do some research on the AMC situation and how that stock kind of GameStop situation, AMC to a point, but GameStop more than none. How that stock played out, what kind of time frame that looked like, and the up and down flow of that. It was a long period of time, and it was a very violent stock, just a very volatile situation. And I think this is going to be the same. I think it's going to be the same. Friends, I wish all of you the best of luck. I really do mean that. I'm curious to see where this thing is going, what it's going to do. And listen, just me saying it's going to fall apart again, I'm not trying to be negative. I want it to fall apart again. I think there's a lot of us that want it to fall apart. There's a lot of us that want this to go to $10 before September, before October here. I am hoping to God it has a huge reset. You know why? Because we can buy a lot of shares at $10, $15, and then we know there's a push coming here at the end of the year. Doesn't that make sense? And doesn't that sound good for everyone? Either way, it's a win-win for everyone, because we know there's going to be a huge push here, at the end of the year. It just makes sense. That's kind of where I'm at with it. That's my thinking. So I hope that kind of helps people. Friends, I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.